What's going on, Facebook world? I got a little situation going on here where a friend called me and asked me to assist them in fixing the dryer and washing machine that they just got. Somebody came in and tried to hook it up and it didn't go well. So I want y'all to see what's going on when I talk about the power of the trades. Look at here. I'm behind the scenes of a washing machine and dryer double stack unit in a refrigerator. So this thing got hooked up wrong and it like flooded out the kitchen. So they called me to come over and look at it. And I'm like just wanting people to see the what's going on back here. See, I was thinking about what they were saying about us as a people. They said, "Oh, these are jobs that people don't want." This right here, fixing, hooking up washer and dryers and all of that. So what was going on back here is the machine was leaking like crazy every time she turned it on. So when I got back here, this valve right here was leaking. This connects to cold water. Now check this out. All I did, this was leaking like crazy and it been like that for a week and they just wasn't washing. So we talking about, they said they've been going to the going to the laundromat, losing a lot of money, and all the brothers that the sister asked to fix it did not know how to fix it. And they was like, how much it costs to get somebody to come out here and do it. But my point is, this is nothing but a trade. But when you turn around and call the people and ask them how much does it cost, it's a lot of money. The plumber won't $50, $60 just to come out and look at it. And then they're going to say, oh, well, you're going to need a valve or something like that. So when you got a person who don't know what's wrong with a situation, and you turn around and say, hey, they got to come out and look at it. Then they say, hey, well, this valve is messed up. You got to replace this valve here that's leaking, and that's going to be kind of expensive. So it's going to be about $500 or $600. You feel me? So all of a sudden, but here's the thing. This valve right here only costs $5. This hose right here is about $6 or something like that. Now, they can come in and tell you, because you don't know nothing about the trades, that your washer and dryer system is no good. So you need to go and break off another $800 to get you a brand new unit. But the reality is, what was wrong with the unit? The person that hooked it up, they didn't tighten this hose. That was the only problem. This hose, let me show you better. This hose wasn't tightened properly. They turned it tight by hand, but really it took some pliers. Some pliers to tighten this up. Big set of pliers. And then another thing was, this thing was leaking. Let me get my little phones right here. This thing was leaking because they had the wrong valve on here. Let me show y'all what they had on here. When you cut the machine on, the washer wasn't working because the water was leaking. And then when it got ready to turn off, it started leaking because this is supposed to be in there, right? This is supposed to go in here like that. So they had an adapter on here that's way down here. See what I'm saying? So that's not how it's supposed to be. So I'm like, this adapter needs to come off of here and plug this piece back into this. So where we can connect this like that. Now here's the thing. How many people got a washer and dryer that need to be hooked up? How many people got a refrigerator that got a line on it that has water in it? On the door where your water goes to your refrigerator. You see what I'm saying? This piece right here, that's what this is. Now, if you call a plumber and say, hey, my stuff is leaking, I need you to come out here and tell me why it's leaking, you setting yourself up for some major problems because they could tell you a whole bunch of lies and you ain't going to know because you don't know nothing about the trades. You're trying to figure out why is there a big hole in the wall and all of that, but this is for, and matter of fact, where does this piece go? This other thing, just the lint chute wasn't connected. This piece here, it was just sitting on there. Now somebody could have charged this person hundreds of dollars to come out here to put all this on and then lie to them and tell them that this wasn't no good. So, hold on. So this piece goes in the wall over here. like that. It's supposed to go outside, but that's a whole nother conversation. And this piece goes on here, but the little piece is not on there. So let me show y'all what that look like. This little ring is a tightener. See, you don't know what's going on. You got to take this piece, turn it around, slide this on there. Now, don't think I don't know what I'm doing, y'all, but I'm holding my phone in my hand all at the same time because I just saw a perfect. I could have fixed this and been on my way back to the house real quick. You know what I'm saying? Neighbor called me telling me it's a problem going on and the house about to flood out because they just say, forget it, we're going to wash. And I'm like, you know what? They go and do it. Then they call me because the house about to flood. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me come look and see what's wrong real quick, thinking it's an emergency, something crazy going on. But all it was is somebody didn't hook this up right. So I often hear people make statements saying that our Hispanic community come over here and they do the jobs that we don't want. And I think that's interesting because these are things that's worth a lot of money. Hooking up washers and dryers. I think everybody I know that owns a home or rent a home that got a washer and dryer unit in it got this right here. Every home should have a washer, a dryer, a refrigerator, hopefully. You see what I'm saying? But we don't know how to hook this stuff up. So I didn't come over here with no tools, but guess what? I use a regular butter knife. I'm going to use a regular butter knife to tighten this back up onto here. And then to take this off of here. And I'm going to see if it's going to connect to here. I hope it do. That way I won't have to go to the store tomorrow and help the sister out and get another one, the right size. But I think it should fit. It should fit that way I can connect it on here like that. So when I get it on there, I'm going to let y'all check it out, how it looked the right way. But I done already fixed the first problem because she called me first. She said the floor kept leaking. I mean, it kept leaking, and then it really started leaking, but it was leaking from this valve right here. This ain't nothing but a water hose spigot type of deal. All I did was tighten this up. Then all of a sudden it started leaking from here. Because it was leaking from down here. Because this don't really go on there. This is an adapter and it literally was plugged in. I'm like, where did they get that off, a vacuum or something? You'd be surprised at things that people do. But long story short, if I was a plumber, I could have easily came out here and say, you know what, man, give me $150. I'll straighten it out for you. That's an honest plumber because that's what kind of money they get. But looking at this from a business perspective, because I know how to do this and I'm a tradesman, I've had a lot of trades and from junior high school all the way to high school. I come back here and I see things because I'm dealing with this and I see things that ain't working right or that's differently. It gives me the opportunity to say, you know what? I can correct this problem because this piece should be like this, or that piece should have a smaller valve on it, or it should also look like this, or it would be convenient if it could do this. So guess what? What if they don't sell that type of stuff? Now I just created it. I just came up with an idea that I can go patent it and manufacture these things myself. So what happens now? I become a multi-billionaire because everybody around the world that has a home or apartment has a washer and dryer unit in their house. And here we are, TJ, then created a valve that makes it very convenient. So let me show you, for example. Every home with a washer and dryer has a hot and a cold valve. So what if I came up with a valve like this that makes it more convenient to where this will never leak again? Guess what? Now we got billions of people around the world that got these valves behind their washer and dryer that said they need one. And then they say, teacher, how much is that valve that you sell? And I'll be like, oh, it's only $6. Can you imagine 3 billion people calling me saying, oh, I want one of these. Give me one for $6. Then you got people calling saying, give me 400 of them because I got a store. I want to start installing those with my company. Matter of fact, I own the washer and dryer machine company. I'm gonna just sell these with my with the washer and dryers. Or better yet, you got those guys. Then you got the housing manufacturers saying, hey, we got a project where we're gonna put up 10,000 houses in the next 2 years. So we're gonna need 100,000 of these, TJ. from one person. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's key to be a manufacturer. But keep in mind, let me say it. The trades are pathways to wealth. The trades are pathways to manufacturing. Manufacturing is a pathway to wealth, to being a very wealthy person. So it'd be cool for me to say, hey, I'm the guy that created, people ask me, what do you do for a living? I'd be like, oh, I created the valve to go behind a washer machine. They look at you crazy, like, really? You made a valve to go behind a washer? They be like, well, how many of them did you sell? Oh, how much do they cost? Oh, $6. People look at you crazy. How many did you sell? Oh, I sold 3 billion of them. So you're a billionaire? No, I'm a multi-billionaire. But here's the thing. Here's another problem that we're going through in the community. A lot of people think that every time we come up with a great idea, we come up with that valve, instead of trying to go out and have it made, we end up selling the idea. A lot of people will turn around and say, oh, well, some people will get the valve made and people know the value in that valve. So they'll turn around and say, hey, how about we just give you $1 million for it? And, you sign off on it and sign this disclosure saying that you don't tell nobody we gave you $1 million for it. And you don't talk about it no more. We're not going to give you credit for it or anything. We don't want nobody to know you invented it or nothing. But, oh, you want to keep the name showing that you invented it? How about we give you another $1 million to take your name off of it altogether? And people are like, ooh, the money. Okay, I got $1 million more. They crazy. They don't even know I got another $1 million just to take my name off of it, so the world won't know that I created it. So every little young black kid, little black girl and boy won't know that, hey, it was a black manufacturer in 2017 that created a valve behind a washing machine. You see what I'm saying? See the value in that? Now, all these little young, think about if you didn't take that $1 million, or if you decide, I'm going to make this myself. I'm not going to sell out. I'm going to get that 3 billion customers myself. So now all of a sudden you get to go around to the schools and talk about the fact that you're a manufacturer, and I'm the one that created that valve behind the washer and dryer. I sold over 3 billion of them around the world. I got accounts in countries I can't pronounce, and they buying them annually. Every day I'm selling hundreds of thousands of valves. So I got my own private jet. I paid $68 million for that jet. I got a mansion in this area. I got a mansion in that area. That's the kind of conversations we don't get to have in our community, because we take that little $2 million or that $1 million and don't follow through with all of this type of stuff. So for those of you who just signed in, I'm behind a washer and dryer that was leaking, creating a lot of problems. And like I said, let's talk about this real quick. A lot of people don't see the value in these trades because they don't think there's money involved. The guy who's behind this washer and dryer, he's not necessarily going to be wearing a suit and tie. He's not going to be wearing his Rolex to come back here and fix this washer and dryer. So we think that he ain't got no money. We don't realize that this guy he ran over there in 10 minutes. He made $150 to fix this, to tighten up some screws, y'all. To tighten up a water hose valve, or to take a butter knife from the kitchen of the own homeowner and tighten up the lint duct. And matter of fact, he came up with an idea. I'm going into something else. We don't see the value in that because we don't see any wealth in it. We see these guys driving in trucks, pickup trucks. We see these guys jumping out with khakis on, old dirty clothes. So we don't think there's any value in that. Oh, this guy ain't got no money. It must not be no money in plumbing, so I don't want to do that. There's no money in all of these things. Keep in mind, y'all, anything that got to do with the house of where you live in is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Anything that got to do with a house, whether it's the washer, the dryer, the stove, the refrigerator, the ceiling fan, the cabinet, the door hinge, the bathroom toilet valve. You see what I'm saying? That little float that always be making noises. That is multi-billion-dollar industries. And if you know how to fix those things, then you putting yourself in a situation where you can come up with a bright idea and manufacture that idea yourself. So that's why I always listen to people who say, oh, I got an idea. I'm like, really? What you got? What you talking about? What you got? Oh, man, I was working on my mom's toilet, and I just realized over the last 5 years, I'd be fixing the same thing for everybody's toilet. If we just made this little thing go like this, we'd be okay. I'd be like, how much you think something like that costs to make? oh, all that stuff is plastic. We can make that on a 3D printer. It probably costs us about $50 to manufacture something like that. And like, how much is it gonna cost us? Oh, we can just manufacture them on the 3D printer until we start doing volume. Then we buy some big 3D printers for like 5 to 10 grand a piece and print out hundreds of thousands of them. Really? You telling me we can start off with $50 investment or something like that and make a plastic valve that go behind a toilet and patent it? What is the money coming in? The money coming in trying to patent it and protect your rights. So anyway, y'all, before I just felt like I just wanted y'all to notice we tend to overlook these trades. Like I was just in Atlanta and I gave that panel discussion and I talk about we got to go back to the trades because there's so much wealth involved. It's wealth involved because every time you come back behind a washer, a dryer, a stove, refrigerator, or anything, and you know how to fix these things, you can come up with a bright idea to improve them. And when you come up with that idea, that intellectual property is worth billions, if not trillions of dollars. You got to ask yourself, how many people around the world need this? When I was building lowriders and cars and I started manufacturing things, I realized, I said, man, there's only 10 million people that need this because everybody's not a lowrider. So that's why I like when I came out of that industry, I started realizing when you're dealing with household products and things like that, things that we need every day, you got a higher percentage of people who are going to need your services or who's going to need that part that you made. So to tap into this housing industry, anything pertaining to something that goes inside of a house will make you a billionaire if you manufacture anything. I don't care if it costs $5, $1. I don't care if it costs a quarter. I would love to get a quarter from 2 billion people. Y'all do the math on that, but I'm going to get back and fix this thing and get up out of here. Quit sleeping on the trades, y'all. We're giving away way too much wealth. When I think about trades, I don't think about jobs and how much hourly wages I'm going to make. When if somebody's trying to teach you if you got a plumber in your household, if you got a person that know how to fix a washer and dryer or a stove or like the hot water heater, you need to ask them to teach you how to do that. Because once you learn how to do that, then you start coming up with ideas to improve that. And once you start learning how to improve that, then you turn around and you start manufacturing parts that you made. And then you turn around and you don't sell it. You turn around and become a multi-billionaire if you can bypass the fact that, oh, I really need that money. And, you know, that $2 million, that's a lot of money, man. I can do this. I can do that. Well, let me tell y'all something real quick. The cost of living in California, where I live at, is very expensive. So you can move in the house that I probably grew up in. It's probably going to be $1 million in another year. And that was in the worst neighborhood in Compton, y'all. Not the worst neighborhood, but in a people getting shot in those areas regularly. So $1 million homes is going to be in that neighborhood, y'all. So $1 million ain't a lot of money no more. $2 million ain't a lot of money. $2 million won't even get you in certain areas. So don't think that $1 million is enough money to retire on in California. So long story short, you want to stay in California? You want to make money? Learn about this stuff right here that we gave away, about these jobs that we don't want. Fixing on washers and dryers and plumbing. You know, plumbing is huge money. All of this, y'all. Stop sleeping on this. This is where the money is. I could have easily charged this person $150 to come over here and whip this up real quick and been in and out of here in 10 minutes. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Then I could have lied to the sister, which I'm not a liar like that. I'm not going to lie on something stupid like that, and told her, but other people do us like this all the time. Say, hey, you know what? This dryer is no good. This double stack unit is no good. But I tell you what, my cousin has a store. I can get you a good deal, and I can have one in here first thing in the morning. You see what I'm saying? So at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll be back with a whole new unit installed. Just give me $1,200 and it'll be nice. And then they be like, man, I'm tired of going to the machine, to the laundromat. I'm tired of doing all, go ahead and do it. We quick to pull out our credit card and pay for stuff that we really don't need. We quick to turn around and authorize something because guess what? We can't pick up the phone and call our little nephew or little cousin to come over and fix it because we sending all our children off to get higher degrees in education to where they're going to be struggling. But we sleeping on these trades, every young person should know how to fix a washer, dryer, anything in the house, period. Hang a ceiling fan. We should know how to do everything, period. If we can go sit up in school and for 4 years and learn how to do a bunch of stuff that we cannot necessarily use, then we definitely can learn how to fix a stove, fix a washer, fix a dryer, fix a refrigerator, learn how to connect this valve and hook up a brand new refrigerator where we can put water on there. We should know how to install a stove. We should know how to hang a ceiling fan. Matter of fact, there's one right there. We should know how to hang a ceiling fan. We should know how to hang the microwave under the counter in the kitchen. All that, y'all. All of that. So anyway, let me fix this and get up out of here. I'm out, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. All right, y'all. I'm done. Y'all see this? I didn't bypass this piece right here. This one obviously was on another one from where this probably came from. You don't even need this long. I call this look like something off a washing machine. Actually, that come off of something else. But long story short, I tightened up the valve back here. I bypassed that piece. Y'all see, ain't nothing leaking. I plugged that duct, that lint duct into the wall. I screwed it tight right here. Everything's all good in the hood. Ain't nothing leaking. The machine is washing right now. Y'all see that? When you hook up something, you always want to chill out for a hot second and see if anything leaking. But ain't nothing leaking. These are the things that I learned growing up. You see what I'm saying? When I grew up, everybody in the neighborhood knew how to do stuff like this. Nowadays, you don't see these young people, they don't know nothing about this type of stuff. This is big money. Right about now, I'd be collecting my little $150, $200. But you know what? Late night, you want me to come out? You want a person to come out to your house at 9 o'clock at night and say, "Hey, I need you to fix this thing right now. It's flooding my house. So I need to have it done because I ain't gonna be home until I don't get a day off until the weekend. But I need my stuff fixed tonight on Monday night." Oh man, that could be $300 to come out and fix that. You see what I'm saying? Last minute. The later it is, the more money you make. Somebody call you at 2 a.m, talking about they washing machine tripping, it done flooded the house. That's $300. That's $500, $800. Quit sleeping on these trades, y'all. If you got anything, you already know what it's worth. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Just want y'all to see it's done. It's fixed. Everything's all good in the hood. Y'all see that? Shorten that extension. I'm out.